The first sign is rest that genuinely doesn't help. A good night's sleep, a lazy weekend, even a proper holiday, and you come back just as depleted as before. This is one of the clearest markers separating burnout from ordinary tiredness. Tiredness responds to rest, while burnout reflects a much larger accumulated deficit that a single period of rest barely touches. The second sign is a growing emotional flatness. Good news and bad news both landing with less weight than they used to. This isn't a personality change. Chronic stress research links this directly to a kind of protective numbing. Caring costs energy, and when the tank has been running low for a long time, the system quietly rations feeling itself, the same way it might ration physical energy. The third sign is increased irritability, specifically with the people closest to you, even though the underlying cause has nothing to do with them. This happens because your system holds everything together for work and obligations, where holding together feels mandatory, leaving nothing in reserve for the people where it finally feels safe enough to crack. The fourth sign is a noticeable drop in concentration. Rereading the same paragraph, losing your thread mid-task, simple work taking far longer than it used to. Under chronic stress, attention gets pulled towards scanning for threats and demands rather than settling on any one task, which is why this fog lifts as the underlying load lifts and isn't a verdict on your intelligence or capability. The fifth sign is physical. Headaches, a clenched jaw, digestive trouble, poor sleep quality, all while blood tests and scans come back entirely normal. Chronic stress runs through the actual nervous system, keeping the body braced in ways that produce real symptoms, even when there's no disease to find. Normal test results don't mean nothing's wrong. They mean the problem isn't the kind of thing a blood test catches. The sixth sign is dread that no longer stays contained to Sunday evenings. When the pre-week bracing starts leaking into Tuesdays, Thursdays, even days off, it usually signals a nervous system that stopped distinguishing between a stressful moment and a stressful life, staying braced constantly rather than only when genuinely needed. The seventh sign is a strange, distant feeling while still performing normally, attending meetings, replying to messages, functioning outwardly while feeling like you're watching your own life from slightly outside it. This is sometimes called functional freeze. Too overwhelmed to fully engage, too responsible to fully stop, so the system keeps the performance running while everything underneath goes quiet. The eighth sign is a strategy that used to work no longer working. Pushing through, gritting your teeth, telling yourself it'll pass, these draw on a reserve that still has something in it. Burnout means that reserve has been running low for a long time, not just through one hard patch. So pushing through an already empty tank just spends what little is left, without actually getting you any further. The ninth sign is being the reliable one, whose limit nobody around you actually knows, because you've never shown it. People aren't usually being cruel when they keep relying on the reliable one. They genuinely don't know it costs you anything, because it's always looked effortless. Reliability without a visible limit isn't sustainable. It's burnout with a good reputation attached. The 10th and final sign is recognizing several of these patterns in yourself while watching this. If multiple signs landed uncomfortably close, that reaction is worth trusting rather than dismissing. Recognition is always the necessary first step in any process of change. You cannot recover from a pattern you haven't yet been able to name clearly. None of these 10 signs require total collapse to count, and none of them are evidence of weakness or a personal failing. They are the well-documented, cumulative markers that burnout tends to leave, often hiding in plain sight behind a life that, from the outside, still looks like it's holding together fine. This week on Healing Through Thoughts, Series 15 runs a full week of content on burnout, what it actually is, how it quietly reshapes work and relationships, and practical, evidence-informed steps toward genuine, sustainable recovery. The full long-form videos are linked in the description, alongside daily shorts covering specific angles of this same topic throughout the week. If this video helped you recognize something you've been carrying without a name for it, subscribing costs nothing and helps this channel keep making more of this work. Thank you for watching. This has been Healing Through Thoughts.